which is about how to work with an array of objects. What exactly does that mean? Is that if you have a class, and so far up till chapter 7, you were creating a single instance of a class. And then if you needed multiple instances, you were creating multiple names. So employee 1, employee 2 were two instances of employee type. Now we will learn that if you need like two instances of employee class, why not create an array of employee type with two elements? That's what we're going to be looking at next. Create a new class in the source, and we're going to call it employee class with a public static void main. Private integer ID, private double salary, private string name. And now I'm looking at chapters 3 and 4. So I will quickly write the code because you already know what are constructors, overloaded constructors, getters, setters. I do not need to explain all of that concepts to you. So typically, you will declare an instance of employee class like this. And then you will going to declare another, you will declare another instance like this. And if you need like 5 instances, you will create them like 5 separate statements. Instead of doing all of that, we do something different. We say that I'm creating an employee array. That's the first thing I do. Let's say size 3. So basically what I'm saying is declare an array of employee type and create 3 null pointers. Who can tell me what that means?
None of the employees are initialized, they're all null.
Exactly, because I did not call constructors, so none of them are instantiated. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Sometimes what happens, people start working with an array of class, and since they see, oh, I've used employee on both sides of equals, they are under the impression that they've already called a constructor. No, they have not called a constructor. What you have just done is that you created X number of null pointers. That's what you did. So now you need to instantiate all elements of employee array. So you can go for integer I equals to 0. I should be less than emps.length, I plus plus. Now you have to go one by one on each one of them and then call the constructor. You can do that in the same loop if you want to do it that way. That's fine. After the employee instance gets instantiated, you can set its salary to a random number between 50 and 200,000.
Still working on it.
So working on it. I will also write a display instruction right here, just so that you can see what number you came up with. This is just a test instruction. We're going to remove it afterwards. So whatever line you write here, this is the instruction to generate a random salary between 50,000 and 200,000. Okay, so this is the placeholder for that. So once you are done, notice I created a decimal format instance on the fly with an unnamed instance, and I call the format method on it, and then I gave this to it. So the syntax sounds a little bit confusing, but if you pay attention, it's basically something that you've already learned.
I think I got it.
Now let's look at another approach to assign random numbers, which you have not learned yet. So we're going to be doing that. I will create an instance of a random class, an unnamed instance of random class. And I will call, let me first organize the imports. The next double method of that. And to this, I will going to give 150,000. And to that, I will add 50,000. I think it generates a double number just like that. And then I have to multiply it by 150,000. And then add the 50,000 to it. Yeah, okay. Let me try to do that. Yeah, okay, that's how I would have to do it. It doesn't take a parameter. It rather returns a number between 0 and 1. And then, you can work with it. One of the reasons somebody would use random instance versus math.random, because random instance has different methods for different data types. If you only want to return a next integer, you can do that too, or next float, next double, next long. So you have a choice of returning different data types versus getting locked into a single type, which math.random does. So this is just another way of doing the same thing.